Hey guys, what's up? Austin Smith here, bringing you a review of the Bic Disposable fountain pen. This is the black version. We'll start at the top here. It's just pretty blank. You get a clip that is fairly tight, but also fairly flimsy, or at least it feels flimsy. It's probably actually fairly strong, although I can see that it is only attached. It is only attached up at this very top bit rather than all the way down. Looking slightly down the cap, you have the little Bic man and such. It's on both sides. You can see the paint flecking off a bit there. This one has gotten quite a bit of use. You notice here I have some electrical tape. That is because the pen is cracking there, which is unfortunate. If you look closely, you can see this lines up here, so you get this kind of interesting effect with the fade, blah blah blah. You know what is technically an ink window down here that lets you can see it sort of there, where you can see how much ink you have left. As you can see in this case a lot, even though it's been used quite a bit. And a Bic logo there, and a serial number and a barcode there. And popping the cap open, which is a slip cap with no inner cap there. It's just got little bits that grab on to the inside. You can look and you see a nib that looks suspiciously like a Pilot Varsity nib. In fact, I have a Pilot Varsity here that I can use to show you. It's not quite, but it looks very similar. Let me put that back. Got ink on my fingers doing that. I wonder where from. Anyway, you have the feed here, which is one of those feeds that just, I forgot where I was going with that. It's one of those inside feeds. I believe it's a wick as well, as opposed to a standard type feed. And then you have a bit of an ink window here, so you can see how much ink you have left. Again, as you can see, quite a bit. That does fill up when you turn it over. Alright. There's a little tiny lip under here, which is where the pen clicks into place. The grip itself is not particularly slick, although it is slicker than the rest of the pen, which is interesting, but it's still pretty grippy, and it doesn't come off. The pen does post, but it doesn't like to. It kind of sits there, and if you push it farther, you probably risk cracking it. More than I have just by keeping the cap on and off. My mother actually got cracking so severe on one of these pens that hers just pops. Like you put the cap on and then you wait, and the cap pops off. So you can't actually cap that one, which I would say is a fairly fatal design flaw. But let's see how it writes first. I'm not going to post it. Let me see if I can get in a good position here. Okay, so this is the Bic Disposable fountain pen. That probably should have been a capital F, but whatever. The nib is a medium, and the ink is like a black that's included with the. I mean, obviously it's a disposable pen, so the black is basically Bic black. The quick brown. I was holding the pen wrong there. Fox jumps over the lazy dog. Let me do that fast. Actually, I just gave up halfway through as I continue to do, and I just started writing. As you can see, it gets a bit lighter when you go faster, but it doesn't skip or anything like that. I say as I hold the pen wrong and make it skip. It definitely doesn't write on the side. It does write in reverse, though. It does lay down some ink. It quickly dries, and as a medium nib, it's pretty good. This is fairly cheap paper from the dollar store, and it doesn't bleed through except for that, which is unreasonable to expect, really, that it wouldn't bleed through if you put a bunch of ink down on the page like that. So as far as actually just writing plain goes, it dries quickly. There we go. It dries almost immediately, and it's a fairly nice medium line. Is there any line variation to it? Nope, not in the slightest. That is a rock-solid nib. So it actually is a fairly good writer, and it holds quite some ink. I've actually used this a bit, and it has tons of ink left in it. And it could potentially be refillable in the same way that the Varsity is refillable. But, of course, the problem I have already mentioned. And that is this cap. The fact that the cap needs electrical tape that is not included is a bit of a problem. And this pen, while it's cheaper than the Varsity, and it would be equal to the Varsity in my opinion if it wasn't for that problem. It is cheaply constructed, at least the cap is, and you could probably do what I've done and tape it, and then use it for quite some time. But the paint is flecking off, so it doesn't look particularly nice. It's a very well constructed pen in writing, but the cap just it's a potential deal breaker. I probably would not recommend this to anyone, especially since the only 2 examples I've had have had the exact same problem. It is disposable, so you could just throw it away, but who wants to spend more money than they would on a ballpoint to have a pen that doesn't last as long? Anyway, I have yet to try some other ones. I might do that, although I'm not particularly itching to try other ones, and see if they have the same problems. Until then, I hope this review was helpful. Bye.